What's going on, guys? T2RX6 here, back for another third-party review, and today we're looking at the DX03 expansion, EW expansion weapon by Perfect Effect. It's the add-on for Warden. Let's talk about what you get. You get this piece. It's an add-on to make the stand bigger because Warden's going to be bigger. We get some feet. We get replacement knee pads, which flip open here. Somehow, there we go. To flip out the little leg cannons. Pretty awesome. They also are usable as hand weapons, as you've got little pegs that flip down. Very neat. You got these two little replacers because they're going to be how our new knees peg on. We've got a new shotgun type weapon, working slide. This handle here is weird. This piece is like your hand guard, and then this piece actually flips down to hold it in his hand. Pretty cool. I like it though. Neat little bit of transformation on it. And then finally you get some screws to attach to this guy. So to install the new piece, what we're gonna do is flip up that back guard, and we'll just remove this screw right here. And you can see, unfortunately, it takes this really nice die cast knee piece off, and we end up replacing it with this plastic one. Just make sure we have it on the right angle here. Yeah, like this. And it should peg in just like so. And basically, you're gonna reattach it. No sense showing you how to screw things in, so we'll be back once they're both on. So once we have the new knee pads on, our Warden ends up looking a little something like this, which is okay, because frankly, how these work is you got the 3 channels here, and they basically slide on in, and he still looks okay, but it is a pretty big difference between the die-cast one, which is much smaller. I do prefer the die-cast one, actually, not only just because of the die-cast weight, but it does look nicer on the non-super mode. Fortunately, like I said, we can just leave them off if they'll ever slide back off. There we go. Notably, this actually does, by removing these pieces here, yeah, the figure's weight noticeably changes. These are really nice. Anyway, so yeah, once we have that off, you can open these on up. And instead of making them look ridiculous with big knee pads, you can just turn them into little, like, blaster cannons that he can use here. Which I think is the way to display him if you're not going to put him in the super mode with these particular knees on. So if we're going to put him in the super mode, what we need to do is give him some bigger feet. So we're going to take this, and you kind of hold this red piece, and you fold this out like this. And then it's also on another joint here that you have to fold out, like so. Once you have that, you take the big ball joint by way of this black piece and flip it up. Everything's really nicely pegged in. So to install this on the figure, you turn his regular foot backwards. You take this piece here, slide it over his foot between the ankle and the foot here, and then take this back piece here, and this is going to plug into the little slot in the front. Just be aware of that. And once that plugs in, it's not a really tight plug-in, it just kind of places it right, because we're going to take the back foot here, and then by folding the back foot down, that's where this whole assembly really locks into place. And we can see just how much bigger he's going to end up being now that we've got this foot. So let's go ahead and we'll take the other one here, flip it open, flip all the joints, make sure the foot is okay, slide it on in, fold it on up, and slide the big foot down, or the big piece of the old foot I should say, down, and make sure it's all plugged in, like so. And there we go. Now we've got a much taller Warden. So we can take our knee guards here now, and we'll take these, we'll flip this open, flip this around, plug this on in, and slide it on in, and you can see now we've given him his, classic knee guards The only thing about this is you can't actually flip them up like you could on G1 Fort Max. So it would have been nice if there was some kind of extra joint here, considering all the other joints that they seem to use to make them flip up. But it's not bad. So go ahead and do that with the other one. I always forget which side these things open. Flip it, close it, slide it into place, and then all that's left is to actually put him in the super mode. So let me do that and we'll be right back. So after getting him into super mode, all I can say is, oh my gosh, yes, this is the fortress that I wanted on my shelf. The super mode just adds so much to this guy. The extra length doesn't feel overly crazy once you have all the extra bulk on him. The gun, as nice as this one did look, is like a nice BFG, if you know the lingo. This one here just works so much better for the super mode, and he just looks like this big, massive brute, which really, that appeals to my aesthetics. Especially when you bring in someone like Chrome Dome here, who looks just so much smaller than Fortress. Yeah, it's really awesome. And here's Orion. I mean, that's a nice scale too if you want Fortress to be bigger. But you know what? I'm actually leaning in a different direction with these add-on kits. He actually kind of fits only marginally smaller than your larger MP. This guy might have earned his place as the head to Fortress Maximus on my Masterpiece shelf. Obviously, not all of Fortress, but enough of it. For the tank mode, mostly everything is going to stay the same as it was. The foot compacts. You just have to flip out this little piece here so you can actually attach this in order to attach the big gun on the top, as opposed to the little ones here. So let's get that done. I'm not going to show it because it's already a pain enough for the little ones. This one I don't suspect is going to be much different, but I don't feel like struggling on camera with it, so let's cut to that right now. So here you can see the tank mode. We've relocated these down here. We got the feet up here. We leave the guns out, and we attach this big gun over here. Somehow these actually made it easier to connect the cannon. On the other hand, this gun doesn't peg onto the back on these treads too super well. I'm sure it can be thickened up with some clear nail polish, but yeah, just be careful that it doesn't really stick on there too well. Actually, it's holding on pretty good now, but the front ones it wasn't for whatever reason. So yeah, not much more to say about this tank except that now it is even more monstrous. When the head comes together, you can do it. You can leave it exactly the same way. These pieces can stay on. The instructions are really careful to warn you that you don't have these too low. Like, I guess like this, but it's really hard to force it in there. There's really only one way for them to go on. So I'm not entirely clear why that warning was necessary. When it comes to the Fortress Maximus backpack thing, essentially it's still exactly the same thing, except that this time we're going to take the two little ones, or these ones, the ones with the single post, and put them on the bottom of each side here, like this. And then we take the ones with the double post and put them on the top, if we can actually get them there. Alright, like this. And then you take the feet pieces, because it doesn't look ridiculous enough, and you put these out, and you put this on the top here, like this, and like this. So now you got even more rear missile stuff. Take this piece here, of course, and plug it on in to make that backpack. And then the final piece, of course, is to take this and push the little slide on up, and then just plug that in on the back like this. So you got this big monstrosity. So let's cut the Fort Max and let's get them. So there we go. We got the upgraded headpiece here, which somehow, I don't know if it's just me or whatever, but it almost looks a little bit better. I don't know. It might not. It just seems that way. And then we have the extra backpack stuff, which ultimately doesn't really add too much to me. But yeah, it is what it is. So is the set worth it? If nothing more than for the way it makes that super robot mode look, absolutely. I think if you have Warden, the set is an awesome upgrade. I just wish that they had put some die cast in the set somewhere to equal out what we took off, perhaps in the feet, but that might have been a problem for the tank mode. So this is T2RX6. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next week.